learn a new language. Very, very natural there and comfortable, instinctive, tough, physical, competitive. What you thought he would be? We offered him as a corner in high school. So we just let him do it. I think y'all like the ball.
What do you see you guys today? Just put out in the we got to see the ball drill.
Oh yeah.
Is this where you can start gauging what kind of?
I think what you'll see over the course of the next week or so, you'll see guys start to separate themselves. I think you have more clarity, on who's ready to play and who still needs work. So it's a great teaching time, and it's a great opportunity for us to evaluate, mentally the mature guys. Guys that can handle the grind and embrace the grind, and fight through, the tough part of having fall camp.
Lots of guys in yellow jerseys today too.
Was there?
We noticed a few.
I don't focus on them. I just worry about the guys who are out there.
What do you think depth-wise, guys?
It already wasn't real good going into, other than linebacker. I didn't think we had good depth going into this season. Probably like a lot of people. But well enough guys who you let them know.
Always got an extra moving around with that screw.
Good. Real good. Really good.
Anything else?
Is there a way to get guys ready to play at that defensive end spot, considering you're going to need depth there, at some point? I mean, what do you do as a coach that this is what I have to do to get this guy ready to contribute?
Well, there's just a lot of things. You got to give him all the looks, the looks that he's going to see the most. Make sure he's got his eyes trained up, his pad level trained up, his physicality trained up. Find out what he does well, try to feed him a lot of that, and try to stress him a little bit, mentally and physically both. Put him in some situations where he's got to, learn how to compete, play with leverage, get off the blocks, chase the ball, see if he's willing to do all those things. And something, again, you really want a catalog of information to really gauge. So, through the course of the first few weeks of fall camp, you're able to kind of see if a guy is going to be ready or not. And sometimes your hand's forced and you got to get him ready. And sometimes it's like, let's just hold on. So maybe there's certain things you can do scheme-wise to help guys, and just so you're getting personnel-wise, you don't have to play the next guy if he's not ready. There's things that you can do personnel-wise and scheme-wise that can match up to your strengths.
Xavier Kelly going to be able to contribate, and what have you seen out of him so far?
He's improved from the spring. He's improved just doing the basic things, and alignment, stance, how he gets off the ball, his footwork, discipline and reading his keys, playing with leverage, playing with quickness, having a plan. He's doing a lot of things so far that have been, pleasing, and definitely has improved. I'm a little concerned after the spring, just with where he was, because again, my expectation and really knowing our roster where he needed to be, and but been real pleased with his progress. He's put a lot of work in. A lot of guys have, have poured into him, his teammates, and helped him all summer. It's very obvious.
Who are some of the other guys maybe we don't know about that are going to provide depth there?
Well, possibly Logan Rudolph.
Chris Register.
Chris Register. He came out of spring as a number 2. He's done well. And, Christian, he's always playing there. David Austin. And Justin Foster's done some really good things. We signed him. We signed him with the understanding he was going to be at the end, and he's been very natural there. It's been pleasing to see. Sometimes they look slow and heavy-footed. They don't play physical because they don't know what they're doing. And for a guy that's never done that, he's shown some just some good instincts and some comfort there, better than you would have anticipated.
Different move for Williams inside.
Yeah, but he played all over for his team. He played wildcat, he played nose guard, he played end, he played some offensive line, some center. He played everywhere. So he's a good athlete. He's got good size, good quickness. He's smart, intelligent, hard worker. Every day he's after practice. He's got a great D line that loves to work off the field. He's really work on their skill set and their fundamentals. The more you work them, the more natural and instinctual it'll become. come. And so he's bought into that. And, you know, in time, he's going to be a really good player.
What have you seen from Austin? Back into
yeah, he's more physical, you know, because of some issues with some lower leg injuries in the past. He hasn't been able to develop his lower body. And so he's healed, and he spent a lot of time, you know, making improvements with his lower body. And now he's a much more physical player at the point of attack. And I think he's playing with a better confidence as a result. And he's a guy that's been around. He's missing football, but he's been around football and been in the meeting rooms, and been in all the drill work for a long time now, and it shows.
What have you seen from A.J. Terrell so far?
Long and instinctive, good ball skills, excellent speed, very competitive, tough, super coachable, real coachable, and he's still got a lot in front of him. You know, he's getting comfortable with the new language. You know, he's very natural with a lot of the things that he does, but he's just learning. You know, things go very fast at practice, and so our job is to get things to slow down for him. But he's coming along. He's doing well.
Lee Anthony Williams.
Yeah, you know, he's very well coached. That jumps out to you. Doesn't get overwhelmed. He's got a lot of confidence. He's done well though. Got to add some size and strength out there. These receivers that he's going with, whether he's in our slots, you know, the receivers you play against are big physical guys, and so you can be in a competitive position, but you know, you lose the battle because the guy's a third or fourth year player and he's just stronger. And so just a lot of the same things with like AJ, you know, trying to get the calls down and how that applies to me when we're in 3 deep zone, don't play man to man, you know,
right.
We're in 2 deep, playing, stay in the flat, things like that. So, but been pleased, you know, with his attitude, work ethic, and skill.
Is this the year for Clemson?
This year for we're hopeful, you know. Albert's done some really good things in camp, and we're hoping that consistent. That's like all of our guys. We want them all to be consistent. Consistently doing the little things the right way, taking the layups, you know, do your job, don't be Superman, play low, play with your hands. The guy can bench press this building, and you got to strike people with these, and kind of like a bench press. And so just being consistent with it. Sometimes when he does, he dominates anybody. And you know, when you neutralize yourself if you don't play with your fundamentals. And so just getting him to trust those and just come out every day with the right mindset, you know. Like, if I need to take 10 plays in a row, I can do it. And and that's a mindset, with attitude. So he's done pretty good so far.
And I got over here late. I guess somebody asked you about Ray McCloud. I mean, is that more than just an experiment? That's a possibility, or?
Oh, I would say it's a possibility. And you know, you want to utilize your players on your team, you know. And so whether that's a situational thing or that's an all-time thing, if he's better than anybody if he is better than anybody we got,
right?
You know, and if on the other side, you know, there's a handful of you that are all really, really good, then it just makes sense, you know, right? But he's got a good skill set, and it's something that I think that, you know, I think he's excited about, and he's got a lot of natural knowledge, understanding of the game, speed, quickness, physicality out there. You know, he looks good, and that creates more competition and turns up the heat on guys. Great. That makes everybody better. You know, don't be stubbing your toe. You know, don't be pulling a hammy. So, you know, it just gives you good competitive depth, and through a couple days, you know, he definitely has got a great skill set and a lot of natural ability to do it.
We saw Tanner Muse blow up Noah DeHaan and then put a lick on Adam Choice here in the Paul drill. What have you seen out of that kid so far in camp?
More than anything, confidence. Just a lot of confidence, feeling of, you know, I belong, and I've worked hard to, you know, to create this opportunity for myself. Guys, again, super competitive. You know, he's wide open when he steps across that line, and very focused, prideful, tough, great teammate, good leader. he cares, and those are all great intangibles. I didn't say anything about 6'2", 225, and 4'4". I talked about intangibles and guys that love it, and are passionate about it, and they care, selfless. You win a bunch of games. So I think you see him in a competitive situation. Again, going against a freshman, but he's a big guy. It's a lot of weight to move, and positioning and tackling. Those are both technique and attitude. So I'm pleased with and happy for him. Because he's worked really hard. He was patient. A lot of people, assume that they don't play as much as freshmen. And a guy plays 100 plays. I think they play a lot as a freshman. You're at a good school. That's a lot of plays.
Yeah.
And some guys don't play any plays for 3 or 4 years at good schools. And then all of a sudden they come along that 4th and 5th year and they become great players. He'll play before then. He's playing now, but I think that from a society standpoint, I hate these kids just like Shaq, or even like Chad Smith. Chad was just a freshman last year, redshirt freshman, just a freshman, and he's done real well. But I don't care what the ranking is. As we know, a lot of that's way overrated. Some of it's warranted, just like the draft. You saw a couple guys that didn't deserve to get taken in the draft a year ago. They had troubles where they were at, and they got troubles in the league too. And so there's a lot of intangibles that go along with it, and then a lot of times it's the guys that they're playing behind too, good players. So, but real happy for Tanner. Tanner's come along good.
Shaq Smith.
Yeah, Shaq's been cross training and has done real well. He's made a lot of improvement. The knowledge that he's continued to acquire, and a lot of the things he's done in the weight room, flexibility, strength, his lower body strength in particular, has been very noticeable. And he is playing the physical and fast, and again playing multiple positions, so that's not easy to do, but he's put in the time for it.
You mentioned Xavier Kelly wasn't quite where you wanted him to be in the spring, and he's made a lot of progress. What ways have you seen him improve the most since the spring?
Where?
Xavier Kelly.
Yeah, where have I seen him improve?
Yeah.
Again, it's just fundamentals are more natural now. His stance, alignment, assignment, putting his eyes on his key, trusting his key, reacting in the appropriate way in which the key tells him. So run, pass, down, block, squeeze, close, all of those things. He's improved in every phase. He is not a complete polished player and ready to be the guy yet. But I do think he's ready to be a guy, and a guy that we can rely on if he continues to progress. So far in camp, from where he was in the spring, he's on the right path, and he's trending in the right way.